Everyone, welcome to the live stream or the YouTube, if that's the case. About to have day 7 of the online champion 3 North American Vainglory tournament organized by Online Champion. We have another of the semi-finals today. Fuggly Wugglies versus the big group. I guess I can show you guys the grid. There it is. So the grid right now, we already covered this semi-final, vegetable juice versus we are one. So today we are playing Fuggly Wugglies versus the big group, and whoever loses between this match will go up to fight against the Custard Crew for the losers bracket. Yuri versus Vegetable Juice was delayed for tomorrow, so we won't have the game match played today because of some schedule incompatibilities between the teams. And whoever wins between Fuggly Wugglies and the big group will meet up with We Are One in a couple of days' time. They might play earlier if they so wish. Have to wait and see. But yeah. Today we have at least this match. Don't know if we will be able to cover the follow-up match between Custard Crew and whoever loses. But at least this one we will do the live stream for. And we're just waiting for the people to show up. Hey Rebel Danny, welcome to the live stream. No demo scene stuff today, unfortunately. Just live casting a tournament of Vainglory. Should start soon. Teams are still getting ready. Okay, seem to have all the players we needed. So we should be able to start the first game of the series soon. Like whenever the guys say that they are ready. Musuno is saying that he's ready to die horribly. I guess that means he's ready. And now they're singing karaoke. Country roads take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia Mountain Mama. I don't know the song. Oh my god. Come on. There we go. Draft phase. Bam. So on the left side we have Fuggly Wugglies. And on the right side we have the big group. And I just heard a ping, which I have no clue what it is from. Oh, it's Sylvia Renee. She just gave us 100 bits. Thank you, Sylvia Renee. Thanks for the support. Overall, I remember on the first day you also helped us up. So thanks for that. We have the bans for Anka and Churnwalker. Both sides. Finn getting picked up by Fuggly Wugglies. I thought Finn was supposed to be the best looking character in the game, according to Malene. So it doesn't make much sense to be played by Fuggly Wugglies. But okay. Arden and Vox. Father and son. Oh, we might have a little battle between brothers here. If Celeste does get picked up by level. It does indeed. It's gonna be interesting. And what will they use to round up this composition? Will they go for the typical double tank thing that we've been seeing a lot? Or will they go for a more traditional... They go for a more traditional approach. They go for the cruel. And now big group needs a counter to cruel. I would probably suggest Sky. CP Sky or CP Petal. Both work pretty well against the cruel. They want to go for the Black Feather. That's a risky Black Feather. I mean, the Black Feather is good onto Celeste. But how are they going to deal with that cruel if he snowballs? That's the real question here. We'll have to wait and see. Curious, curious, curious. Anyways, both teams are ready. The game is loading. Gotta turn on the names. And my screen went back to draft and now back to this. Wow, amazing. And OBS didn't change at all. This happened yesterday as well. The game loaded, that's what matters. The names are in correct order. Fuggly Wugglies playing as blue and the big group playing as red. Just typical start. So I would give advantage to Fuggly Wugglies based on this draft alone. Just because I don't see the counter to Cruel right away. I guess the mortal wounds from Vox can happen, but if it's a very burst-oriented Cruel, Vox will just be dead by the time he does the second dash. And I don't think 2 dashes is enough to kill the Cruel with lifesteal and all that jazz. So let's see how they play this. Will this Black Feather be able to surprise us with this large tuna? Or is it a swordfish? Probably a swordfish, I guess. Because that's supposed to be his sword. And it's the blue team that gets this middle treant. They want to do more than just get the treant. They want to get a piece of this Black Feather as well. Cruel dives in after him, and he will probably get that with a smite. He does indeed. First blood for the side of the Fuggly Wugglies. Now it's Vox that overextends a little bit, and second kill, third kill. And it's not an ace because the counters are very low. Cruel decides to do jungle invade. This might be a little bit risky though. He didn't have a chance to buy anything. And Black Feather probably did. Just surprise on the bush. There's a camera to spot him out. On point, not quite connecting. Cruel decides to back off. Vox popping the boots to catch him up, but not in range. They will get this back camp. And now they will most probably indeed back off. Get the Elder Treant as well, the second rotation. So clear lead for the side of Fuggly Wugglies to begin. See how the game develops. Trying to load up the grid. I don't know why I don't really need the grid, just to have the names of the teams ready. In case I have like a blank. It's the Fuggly Wugglies versus the big group. So laning phase, not much happening. 2k gold lead already for the side of the Fuggly Wugglies though. That's gonna help him out immensely on this early game phase, especially for Cruel. He needs to snowball early on to be able to put down some damage. Probably be able to get himself a Sorrow Blade sometime soon. With these resonance bounces, taking Elest quite low, but she's able to hang in there. Lost a little bit of farm there, should be fine. Now the Cruel is 1 versus 3 all of a sudden. He just wanted a piece of that Black Feather. He got those Sakuras around him. Means he is heavily loved by Black Feather. Probably take this wonderful opportunity to load up the shoutcasting reference. Maybe follow someone while I'm doing that. Let's follow Arden. Sorry for the stutter there. Cruel a bit overextending. Will he be able to get this back camp? Yes, he will. Now he might be a bit overextended here, but the Finn doing a lot of damage, trying to zone out the enemies. Celeste wanted a piece of that action, but they will not have a team fight. They will just disengage. Wait for the late game. That's the wisest thing to do. Another engage here. Black Feather dangerously low from Hell's Heart connecting on him, and that's one more kill for the side of the Fuggly Wugglies. They are definitely in the lead of this game. 3k gold ahead. And now Cruel will have a chance to steal some more back camps. This Black Feather starting to feel the pain of the Cruel. And it only confirms what we were mentioning during the draft phase. There is no real counter to Cruel on the side of the big team. And the big group, not big team. So they're gonna have a hard time. Maybe late game, if Arden manages to zone out the Cruel, put Atlas Pauldrum on him, and the Vox lays down some of those bounces with Mortal Wounds, it might, but not as he is right now. Vanguard trying to keep Vox safe, but the Finn does that polite company that pulls him back. Ooh, and now a Forced Accord, getting the Black Feather as well. This is looking very bad for the big group. Very bad indeed. It's probably the first turret, and Cruel will be able to get that gold miner with some help from Finn. Fuggly Wuggly is clearly in the lead so far. Let's take a look at builds. Shadowglass on that Celeste. Serpent's Mask on the Cruel. Interesting. I guess he really wants a lot of sustain. Sustain also for Ultra Vetric with that Eve of Harvest. And we have a weapon Black Feather. Weapon Black Feather works especially against Celeste. But the main problem here will still be the Cruel. Especially with a sustain build. I was expecting this Cruel to be using a burst build, like a Sorrow Blade, maybe Tension Bow, or a Breaking Point. Although Breaking Point is more sustain. But Serpent's Mask first item, that's interesting. Let's call it that. Another engage right now happening. Fountain gets popped, trying to save himself. Or we're trying to save... I thought that was Arden that just died, but it wasn't. It was Black Feather. Now it seems everyone is about to die, so I guess it doesn't really matter. Just an ace for the side of Fuggly Wugglies. More back camps will get stolen. This turret is also dead. Only the choke point turret remains, preventing the Fuggly Wugglies from entering the enemy base. Those resonance bounces just tickle. They don't do any real damage. But Black Feather is... he's dancing around. He went in, and then he saw the Cruel, and he decided just to use the Rose Offensive to get out. 6k gold lead on the side of Fuggly Wugglies. That's a lot of gold. And it might increase here with another gold miner. They just started him up. Arden putting down some vision. They might want to contest this gold miner. Will they be able to? No, they do not. Uzunu still tries a blood for blood there, but not quite connecting with the right target at the right time. Those Iliogenes is already doing so much damage, and it's only gonna get worse. Cruel trying to surprise this Black Feather. He's forced to use the Rules Offensive to get away. Iliogenes is getting him very low. He manages to get out. Ooh, Solar Storm picks him up. Nice snipe there. Forced Accord, keeping both Vox and Arden within range. And this is probably another ace. The boots get popped to secure it. It is indeed triple kill and an ace. And this should probably be this choke point turret now. Very one-sided game. The big group not really able to contest the what? I don't even know what to call it. The initial aggression from the side of the Fuggly Wugglies, the Cruel, not able to contest the Cruel. I mean, you saw him getting picked on the draft. You had one last pick to go. You could have counter-picked him. Could have picked like a Sky. You could have picked a Petal. All of them would have worked. Why did you pick a Black Feather? Even the summer skin Black Feather. Like, the Cruel isn't even on the team fight, and Black Feather is already low on health. There's no way he can sustain. Vox is dangerously low. Arden is also about to die, and Black Feather gets a From Hell's Heart onto his side. That hip is gonna hurt for a little while. Like a couple of days, maybe. And Cruel trying to finish this Arden off. He manages to get him with a smite. Another ace, 16-0 on kills. This is just a ridiculous game. What the hell happened to the Crystal Sentry there? He like teleported. Teleported into the hands of Cruel. A very deadly Cruel. And I think Fuggly Wugglies is just trying to finish up this game now. They might overextend a little bit here and give some room for a comeback. If the red team manages to keep safe. The Vox wants to go back home. Black Feather wants to go back home. This turret alive on the sliver of health. On point connecting there, but only tickling. And Cruel stealing a few more of those back camps. I guess Invader Zim is waiting for a nice forced accord. Lays down the vision. Waits for someone to show up. But Cruel is not there. Will that be wise to do the forced accord here? He tries it anyways. And the big group is so afraid that the full team of Fuggly Wugglies is there that they don't dare. Cruel is just doing the Kraken on his own. And it's fine. His team is making do. They popped the fast now after killing one, so they're already 2 versus 2. Oh, that wasn't the Kraken, that was still the gold miner. We're only 12 minutes in. Well, about to be 13. This is just a slaughter. I'm hoping for a mercy kill. From Hell's Heart, going away. Almost reaching the Arden. He had the Crucible though. I managed to dodge the From Hell's Heart as well. Energy low on Illus. They will be forced to go back away. Cleaning up some vision before they do so. And all the jungle from both sides of the camp belongs to Fuggly Wugglies. Total domination on this first game. Not sure what the side of the big group can do to contest this. I think I saw a solar flare ripping through the Halcyon Fold over there on the lane. Guess they're waiting for the Kraken now to try to finish off the game. The big group needs a very big miracle to be able to get back into this match. I mean, they can't even do 3 versus 2. They tried it, and they couldn't pull it off. So how the hell are they going to do 3 versus 3? Black Feather wants a piece of the Celeste. Will he finally have the opportunity to slay her? Solar Storm hits him. He still manages to hang on. Now, nope. Black Feather's forced to run away. Not able to execute that Celeste thanks to the help of Finn. I think if it was one-on-one, he should have been able to accomplish it. Meanwhile, Vox is dead and Arden is running for his life with a pumpkin on his head. So I think this game is pretty much done. Cruel is tanking this turret. Trying to finish him off. The Vox is back on the Halcyon Fold, but not really doing enough damage. So, bad draft from the side of the big group. Cost him the first game of today's series of the semifinals of Online Champion Tournament. We have Fuggly Wugglies 1 and the big group 0. Switch to lobby real quick while the teams swap sides. I'm on the wrong page. Should probably be... Or, well, you see Fuggly Wugglies versus the big group here, so I guess it's fine. Wanted to update the score real quick while the game doesn't start. It should be starting soon though. Excuse me. Okay, back to the draft for the second matchup of today's series. Don't think it was a bad draft. They had no counter to the Cruel whatsoever. I'm not sure on the tier levels of the side. Well, I know that the guys from Fuggly Wugglies are tier 10. Even a couple of tier 10 silver, I believe. I'm not sure on the big group. I think they're vainglorious, but only bronze. Let me take a look real quick. Yeah, Palo is vainglorious. Let's take a look at Lusunu. Lusunu is vainglorious as well, so it's the difference between vainglorious silver and vainglorious bronze. That's pretty much the skill difference here. Anyways, game number 2, we have Anka and Churnwalker banned off the bat. Lusunu picked up the lance there. It can flex both as a jungler and a captain. Oh, interesting pick there. Petal. Petal with no direct or immediate counter already on the Alcyon Fold. So that means that she might be open for a counter, which would be Vox, for example. Vox would be very good onto Petal and Finn. They go for Malene instead and an Ozo, which I think is not a good pick. Ozo is bad onto Petal, and he's even worse against Finn, because he can get locked in and stunned up. This is a very weird draft from the side of Big Game. Well, it's a weird draft from the side of Fuggly Wugglies as well. I guess we will have a fun game. I mean, this is totally different from what you would expect. But as long as it works, ship it. Illust seems to be going with the Arden to round up that weird Finn and Petal combo. So I guess it will be Arden on the lane and Petal on the jungle. Probably a CP Petal and a weapon Arden. They do indeed buy CP and weapon accordingly. We have Crystal Malene, as is probably the only way to play Malene. I don't think I ever saw anyone play Malene weapon. And weapon Ozo, which has been very popular on 5 vs 5 before the 3.8 update. And now he's a bit of a pick. It works nicely if you have any other synergy heroes with him, like an Arden maybe, or Lorelei to give him those barriers. When he has those heroes to support him, he's extremely strong. Without them, I don't really... It doesn't convince me. I think there are better junglers out there. Anyways, let's see how Palo47 plays him. He has the party hat. He should be confident. Let's see who gets this Elder Treant. Apparently he went for Illust with the Arden. Palo dangerously low. Will he go down? One more hit. One more hit. So has to backtrack. Now Level is left alone, 1 vs 2. He manages to pick off that kill against the monkey though. But Arden also dies. And Petal dangerously low. Will Malene be able to finish her off? Yes, he will. Double kill for Ultra Vetric will help him on this early part of the game. He might be overextending here, trying to get the triple kill against Invader Zim. He might get it though. Nope. Vanguard keeps him alive, and Lusunu is forced to use the Githian wall to keep Illest from killing Ultravetric. They do take the opportunity to steal some back camps though. That will help them increase their lead early on. Paulo 47 wants to steal those potatoes as well. Here comes Level. And Paulo is just running away. Pro tip, if your weapon, get rid of those minions from Petal before you attack her. It's just, it's an easy way to kill her. Because a CP Petal is useless without the minions. And if you can kill them with 1-2 hits, do it. Get her low on energy, force her to jump back. Although in Ozo's defense, I think he might be too low earlier on to be able to do any real damage to those minions. Back to the standard laning phase. Nice impale there onto Arden. Bit overextending now. Might regret that positioning. Might have a skirmish down here. Let's take a look. Ozo wants to finish off this battle. He did a significant amount of damage, but then he ran into a Finn and an Arden. He decided to back off. Nobody really getting rid of those minions. Then Lance could do some damage to those minions. Nope, they decide to go back to farming. Not overextend. Maline rotating back up to keep farming as usual. So, not much to comment early on. We already talked about the drafts. We already talked about the early game aggression. Might have Ozo overextending a little bit again here. He's alone 1 versus 3. That's not where you want to be. Impale to the rescue. Not quite enough to keep Ozo alive. That was a bit of a throw there by Ozo. Now Lusuno in the bad spot, going dangerously low. The ultimate from Arden narrowing him in. They respect the Maline though. And she manages to get that healing tree ant for herself, so good job Maline. She's been playing safe. Level now recalling. Get his health back. I'm not sure how the Maline will hold up against late game Arden with those blood for bloods doing so much damage. Have to wait and see. I have my money on the Fuggly Wugglies. I think they had the better draft and they should be able to win this matchup. They're tied for kills so far, but they're already in the lead by 1k gold. Maline is farming well though. Farming easier than Arden, using her range to full advantage. Now Petal arrives onto the lane. She gets targeted by this Ozo, but not doing much damage. Ozo decides to rotate down into his jungle, leaving Lusuno and Ultravetric alone in the lane, running for their lives. Nice impale there to buy some time. Ooh, Crucible gets popped. Try to keep Malene alive. Not enough. She ends up dying. This could be the first turret. The ultimate from Ozo. Not quite enough to do any real damage there. He wants to clown around, but he's just too squishy. He's not doing enough damage and he's too squishy. He's just not a very viable pick to do proper damage to level with this petal. Their health bars get low, but they don't die. That's the main issue. And Petal has a lot of healing potential with her minions exploding. Although they got a bit nerfed, but it's still better than no healing. Ultravetric trying to put down some pressure on this lane. Those ribbons doing so much damage. A little skirmish here, just people just poking each other back and forth. Now blood for blood and a dive from the side of Ozo. He decides to quickly run away. Couple of jumps, no real damage though. And it's Petal that's doing the damage onto Lusunu. Crucible popped. Very good time to avoid that forced accord. The gauntlet didn't catch anyone. They were still under the influence of the Crucible. Oh, and a kill now coming out of nowhere from Malene. Well played. This Malene might make a big difference on this game. Arden steals some camps there. Guess we should take a look at builds real quick while we don't have a skirmish. Malene with the typical aftershock. Ozo went for the Serpent's Mask, so did Arden. But Arden already finished his Sorrow Blade and Ozo did not, because he spent a lot of time dying. Shatterglass on the paddle, which is pretty standard for a paddle build as well. And both captains going for the Fountain, but Invader Zim focusing more on vision, while the Lance goes for the Crucible instead, which is merited. Although I think the Finn needs a Crucible as well to prevent both the Impales and the ultimate from Ozo. Meanwhile, I think we are having a gold miner take down. Let's see if the blue team is able to contest it. They are almost dying and not contesting it. Nope, they don't get the gold payout. It goes to Arden. And now Lusunu in a bad place. He's just gonna die. He's just dead. Ozo left alone defending this turret. Blood for Blood doing a lot of damage, but the Serpent's Mask helps him recover. Bangarang puts Arden under the turret. The Fountain gets popped, not enough to keep him safe. So nice Bangarang there from Ozo, finally getting a clean kill onto someone. This might help him complete his second attack item. Meanwhile, Petal got rid of all the opponent team's jungle, including the Crystal Sentry. And she's more fed than ever. Already got her Dragon's Eye as well, and now got an infusion. And whenever she wishes the team fight, she will do a lot of damage. 2 versus 2 on the lane. Malene going dangerously low with those blood for bloods and the stuns from the side of Finn. Light Company trying to keep them safe. Impale doesn't really connect. Here goes Ozo trying to do some damage. jumping around. The ultimate from Arden gets popped, try to prevent them from escaping. Look at the health recovery from Ozo, but not enough to stay on this team fight. Only member left is Lusunu, and he's no longer on the Alcyon Fold. He has retired himself for now. Ill is starting to do a lot of damage, and not just plain damage, but damage that also heals him back up, so he just has a lot of sustain. Weapon Arden is totally meta right now, both in 5 vs 5 and 3 vs 3. Malin wants to contest something here, almost kills that petal, but not quite enough damage to finish her off. Vaderzim is not afraid. Polite Company starts off the fight. Bangarang onto Petal. She's going low, but Malin is not there to do the follow-up, and now Ozo is dangerously low. He's just dead already. Not much Malin can do but die here. And another team fight going in the way of the red team from Fuggly Wugglies. An ace even, this might help them push out another turret. Waiting for that minion wave of enraged minions. Or buffed up minions. Ooh, nice stun there onto Ozo. He is just dead. He didn't even do any damage. Just showed up, got stunned up, slowed down, and died. And now Fuggly Wugglies will also try to take down this Crystal Sentry. He's a bit moonwalking on the Alcyon Fold, but he does indeed go down in the end. No real damage coming out from the side of Big Game. Unfortunately, this seems a pretty one-sided matchup. Just realized I don't have the team names on screen by some reason. There it is. Now they're back. This is the second game, so if Fuggly Wugglies win this, they will go on into the final of the tournament, which will be played against We Are One, team that has already qualified for the finals. Nice force core there, making sure no one gets away from that gauntlet. 1 is dead, 2 is dead, and Lance, last man standing yet again. Will he roll to safety, or will he die before he manages to do so? He rolls, he Githian walls, and he's safe. This turret is not. This turret is wiped out from the Alcyon Fold. Impale not quite doing much there. Githian wall just pushing back some minions. Not much Lance can do, but now Malin is back here. She can start to do some damage. She decides to poke on that Finn. Bangarang onto Petal, but he didn't even lose any health whatsoever. Still completely health full. And Malin now is just dead. Paulo 47 dangerously low, also dead. And Lance, we've seen this story before. Oh, Arden trying a sneaky blood for blood there, trying to get a kill. I think he did get the kill in the end, but also died. And meanwhile, Lance is back and wants a piece of this action. He ends up biting more than he could chew. Petal is still left alive. Another ace coming out for the side of Fuggly Wugglies. Are they trying to end the game, or are they trying to get the Kraken? Maybe just these back jungle camps first, and then we'll think about it. Total domination from Fuggly Wugglies on this matchup once again. Previous game was pretty one-sided. This one had some slivers of potential from the side of Big Game, but Fuggly Wugglies is just dominating so much. Not much they could do. This Petal pick, completely uncontested. Ozo is not a good pick to counter Petal. Arden Gauntlet coming down, preventing everyone from escaping. The fountain gets popped by a random person that I did not catch. And Malin left alone. She's roots Arden and gets chewed on by those minions. Githian Wall unfortunately did not put Petal back. Another blood for blood, not quite connecting there. little bit of a bug. And Arden gets caught on that that quibble, and he's just dead. This might be the game right now. Malene is left alone, and she's just so squishy. Ozo arrives now. Let's see if he has a bangarang for someone. Nope. Too scared to use the bangarang. Polite company. Not polite company. Force the court. Force the court used upon Malene, which managed to kill her off. Invader Zim will just tank this turret, hoping his teammates will be able to finish her off and finish the game. They must be tired of the game by now. Fountain gets popped to keep them safe. This should be game number 2. They refocus on that Ozo, just killing him off, making sure they will get the game. Lance with a nice Githian wall onto the base, but he ends up dying in the end, and this is indeed game number 2 of this matchup. I would like to say that it was a close series, but it was not. There was heavy domination from the side of Fuggly Wugglies. So well played. I mean, the big group tried, but it was just not enough. The skill difference and the doubtful drafts, in my humble opinion. I would not have drafted that way for sure. So congratulations to Fuggly Wugglies. They move on to the final. And the big group will face Custard Crew on a game later today, or it was initially scheduled for later today. I guess the captains still have to agree if they are playing soon or not. But yeah, I think that's it for the stream for now. I'm not sure if we will be back later today or not for that other matchup. If we are not, see you next time. Invader Zim saying that the next game is around an hour if y'all want to stream it. Okay, that might be worth streaming. Yes. So yeah, we'll have another matchup in about an hour, but I think for now I will shut down the stream. So let's find someone to raid, and then we'll be back later in about an hour time to resume the stream with the finals. So let's find someone to raid. Let's see who is streaming right now. I guess we can raid the Zoned. We haven't raided him yet. So okay, see you guys back in an hour for the final of the online champion. And then we will only have left the losers bracket and the grand final in a couple of days time. So bye bye everyone, see you soon.